RealChip TV, RealChip recap, breaking down the Eagles Week 10 debacle. Mm-hmm. Is that the word for it? That was one of the worst games I've ever seen. Lost to the Miami Dolphins 2019. I'm your Stephen Hellman, your Tom Oresco. Found our Chip Cop blog. I mean, what happened, man? That was...
After that missed field goal, it just seemed like the whole team just like lost it. I don't know. And there's a couple opportunities missed in there. Malcolm Jenkins got his hands on an interception that would have been in the end zone, and Connor Barwin tipped that ball straight up in the air. And instead of tackling Jarvis Landry, guys were kind of trying to look for the ball, and no one found.
They got to know that you can just whack whoever you want once the ball gets tipped.
Yeah, I mean they should know that, and that's your superstar safety making that judgment to try to look.
Headed.
Yeah. Twice in the game he dropped an interception and then he let that happen. So, a lot of soul searching. In these
seriously.
Weeks,
I mean
that should have been a win right there, and then they let that one slip away.
I think Giants losing again. Mm-hmm. I mean that's the only good news.
Yeah. And Dallas.
And Dallas is essentially done. So yeah. I think I don't even know how to. My expectations for this team now is just they can go out there and win any game, they can go out there and lose any game.
Yeah, exactly.
So you almost have to take it, the way I see it is you take it just 1 week at a time and just hope you can hold pace with the Giants, really. That's all.
You're fighting.
It's going to be ugly.
The Redskins are 4-5 too, so got to remember that. But yeah, it's not going to be the dream season that everyone thought after the preseason, and we looked really sharp, especially against Green Bay in the preseason. But that's not always how it goes, and you got to just, I've seen a lot of people saying, that this team's not going to win the Super Bowl, so why even make the playoffs? And I don't understand that.
No, I think you make it and you build towards something.
Yeah, playoff experience is big, and just getting in the playoffs. It's a 1-game elimination tourney, and anything can happen.
Yeah.
Not that I think the Eagles are even close to the caliber team that can contend with any of the playoff teams right now or win a game. But I do believe that they have some talent. There's something to build on, and you don't just tanking in basketball to get the top pick is one thing, but football you can find guys all over the draft. So
exactly,
it's not really the same. It's not like getting one of the top picks is it might help us, but we just need offensive line, and you can find offensive linemen a lot of places. I don't think that at the expense of missing the playoffs, I want to get a early teens pick or whatever.
No.
I'd rather just get early. I'd love to make the playoffs and get an early 20s pick, and even if they don't win the Super Bowl,
get that experience.
It's obviously not likely, but
you get a home game if you got in. So you get in there and just play a game. Maybe you win.
Maybe something for the fans. Maybe boost the morale of the team.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want playoff football just because they're frustrated? I don't think the Giants fans are. Maybe, but I wouldn't guess that any fan. Seahawks are 4-5. You think fans are saying they don't want to go to the playoffs?
Yeah.
If anything, they want to get in the playoffs and kick somebody's butt and show them that they're a good team. So that's what I want, and maybe it won't happen. Maybe it will, but we'll have to see.
All right. So looking forward, you're gonna have Bradford out for 2 games now. What do you see? What do you think we can get out of Sanchez? They were able to move the ball a little bit with Sanchez, but there was definitely some
Sanchez is
serious
mishaps.
Sure. Chemistry, lack of chemistry, a lot of miscues.
Not looking for the ball. Threw the ball square to DeMarco Murray's back on a wheel route that if maybe he would have waited another step or two, that would have been a touchdown. There's no one in front of him. He had his guy in the right spot, and if he leads him out in front of the out downfield, it could have been a huge gain. So no, but I think I just think that Sanchez is exactly who he is. He's a backup quarterback. He can play well. Against Detroit and Tampa, two teams that aren't too great, And then against New England, if Bradford returns to the lineup, or if not, I think that's going to be a tough game either way. So hopefully you get Bradford back for that December stretch where he can play those games, and if he plays well and they are able to go to the playoffs, and maybe you think about doing something about his contract and seeing what you can get out of him. Or there's so many questions right now. It's just hard to even talk about what's going to happen in the offseason and all that. But Sanchez for these next 2 games is really the focus right now, and I think he can play all right.
No, I think the worst part of this whole scenario is with Bradford getting hurt. I really felt like I was starting to see something from that first quarter touchdown he threw. Where I said he looked like he was back at Alabama running around. He looked good. Oklahoma. I said the red jersey, get them all confused. Exactly. I was texting today and I said Alabama, And I was gonna say Alabama. I deleted Oklahoma, so I made the error there. I digress. It's just you see things that are just slowly like he's slowly getting it back.
Maybe it will take a year. I think they do maybe want to.
Yeah,
and then he gets hurt.
But the offensive line was just terrible. You know,
they've just been awful all year.
You
can't ask for anything worse than what they've given you. So it doesn't really get much worse than that.
No, it does. And Jason Kelce, he said it was the worst game of his career.
He said that 3 times this season.
Looked.
So how about you just sum it up and say you're having the worst season of your entire career, brother?
I've never seen offensive line play this poorly.
Yeah. I've seen Andy Reid not have top talent on his offensive line and still somewhat put something together. And this team, it was the wrong year. They got rid of the 2 guards, but then you still have Lane, Peters, and Kelce. And for Peters to have declined the way he has, and Kelce be playing this bad,
you couldn't have foresaw all these scenarios,
every single thing happening at one
Yeah.
time, and that just kills you. But I was just talking about contracts earlier. I think they position themselves very in a way where it's very friendly to them. It's very. It helps because now their defense, they're not elite. I think a lot of people, we know we're a good defense, and people do use the word elite. We're an elite defense, and I believe we have the potential to be. I don't think we're exactly there yet, but you can see that this is something that you keep these guys in place, they're just going to keep getting better. They're not old.
Yeah, no.
They're just getting experience. Them getting older is actually them getting better. They're just getting to age 25, 26, 27.
They're going into their prime.
Yep, exactly. And, excuse me.
You eat something weird?
Yeah, I was eating those chips.
Oh yeah, those chips.
Those
okay,
chips,
all right, I got you. Yeah,
I got the gas thing going.
The gag reflex.
I'm hungry though. I need some dinner. But anyway, so on the offensive side of the ball, you have receivers to work on and you have line to work on, and there's going to be a lot of guys that depart that leave a lot of money. D'Amico Ryans could be one, sadly, but we have Jordan Hicks and he's going to take over as the leader of our defense. Jason Peters is going to be gone, most likely. He's $10 million cap hit right there. Yeah. So you're taking him off the books. Riley Cooper's going to be gone, who would have cost you $5 million next year. His money's just, get him out of here.
You might trade Sanchez.
Darren Sproles, Sanchez, yep.
Yeah.
So
you're looking at like $20 million.
$20+ million plus on top of whatever they had already. So,
for players you are not getting any production out of it. You're not going to miss these guys.
Sproles, it's sad as well, just kind of like D'Amico. But they're just getting there. Father Time's undefeated. Same with Peters. Father Time is undefeated, and he'll keep taking careers. And look, when we cut some of these guys or let them go, people will probably be up in arms just like last year. But if you're not getting just to keep a familiar name around that was once good, it's not worth it. We can't afford that. We need to start building toward revamping this team, and he just did the defense, and now he's going to do the offense, and you're going to see probably a rookie tackle that's going to be him and Lane Johnson for the next 10 years. You're going to have 2 guards. You could go free agency. There's a lot of guys that are just get veterans or guys that are in their mid-20s that have game starting experience. That's what we need. Not Matt Tobin, Andrew Gardner. Those are career backups. We need guys that have game experience, and then Jason Kelce. Hopefully he can pick it up around like a better core of offensive linemen that are just more suited for a fast-paced, up-tempo, athleticism. We just need that youth, and I think also there's going to be. I think we need a big brother of the receiving core. Like we need somebody to mentor these guys, and a name that's so attractive would be Calvin Johnson because he's due $24 million next year from Detroit. $24 million.
No way.
No chance. If they keep him, it will be a renegotiated deal, and he'll have to really want to stay with the Lions just for the novelty of being the Detroit Lions like receiver. Like that franchise face.
Yeah.
But it's worthless. They're going to rebuild completely. If they're getting rid of Stafford, they might as well let Calvin out of them. Go get a contender. And I don't know if we're a contender, but we're definitely going to have the need for that type of receiver.
Yeah.
Alshon Jeffrey's another guy that you think of. But either one of those guys, you need somebody to take the pressure off. So you need to get a receiver, and you need to get a couple linemen. And I think it's like that. We can be just
because you brought in all the new skills players this year, minus the wideouts. So you get all these new, linemen and stuff that are important pieces to the puzzle, but they're not. It's going to take a lot faster for those guys to get used to playing together than it is for a Bradford, DeMarco, Selleck, or all those guys.
Yeah. I think just all that's. It's frustrating as fans to watch like these sloppy play and the mistakes and the mental errors, but I really do believe that as quick as he turned this defense into a top defense, he could turn the offense back into what it was in 2013. Just get a couple marquee players. I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously. Oh, just go get a Calvin Johnson. I mean, that's tough to do, but I think there's talent all over this league. I think there's guys that hit free agency. I think we have the money to spend. I think we set it up nicely. I think they've done a good job of that, and it was going to be a painful year this year. And it was in the back of my mind, as much as I wanted it to be, that year that we were good, kind of like a growing year. I've said it. You take a step back on offense to take a step forward on defense, and then now the offense is going to be in focus. So I'm really hoping that they can turn this thing around. And
well, they definitely took a step back on Sunday. That's for sure.
God, dude, it was.
But yeah, no, I think moving forward, I think we got a good thing we're working towards. It just needs to,
it's tough to
we
wait.
Beat ourselves again.
Exactly. A bunch of games this year, you had and mental errors and penalties and
play calling and everything. It was such an Eagles game. I'll close out with this. It was such an Eagles game where one thing went wrong. You missed the field goal. You did everything right, but you missed the field goal. Okay, it happens. I could bash Caleb Sturgis all day, but. Then it just felt like they completely just
got away
from what they wanted to do, the game plan, and it just never felt the same game after they missed that field goal, and there was no reason for it to be that way. Your defense was still playing good, you got the punt blocked, which is just that ruined things too, and it's just like one of those things where it felt like the Redskins game where if they could have just made one of those plays, they would have won the game. There was like 6 plays that they didn't make.
Exactly.
You make one, you win the game.
Exactly,
and it's just.
Hopefully we can get some of this cap space the way I just laid it out. Hopefully that all comes true and we can get some guys in here that can threaten defenses, because this offense, if they were averaging what they averaged the first 2 years under Kelly and they were top 5 and all that and rushing and top 10 in total offense and all that, they were top 5 in total offense last year and they were second in the league in total offense 2013. If they could just be that again, if he could just go out and spend the money and bring those guys in, and we're averaging 30 points a game, this team would be really good. The defense is holding, and
it's gonna be a good. Looking forward to the rest of the season, and I think it's gonna be a good offseason. I mean, like you said, you're gonna cut like $20 million of dead weight that's doing nothing that you can go spend. So we'll see. I mean, all right. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this. This is something I just thought of right now. Comment below who is the worst player on this team this year in 2015? Who you got?
As far as like expectations, or just who I think is playing the worst?
There's worst player on the team. That I guess worst starter.
Well, I'd say Josh Huff is pretty disappointing. He's not been. I mean, maybe he'll keep developing. I hope, but I really think he's just a rotational guy, 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
I really expected a lot more out of him, but he's just been dropping passes, and he's had the opportunities and. He's just not making the plays that a lot of people expected, and especially on the kick return game. I mean, they're booting it out of the end zone, but even when he's gotten it, I mean, he's made a couple, but he hasn't made any of those huge returns or anything like that. So I'd say Josh Huff.
Yeah, I think Jason Kelsey, but Miles Austin is
Austin
very close.
Guy shouldn't be playing, man. He's not even deserving of a roster spot. I saw an article today that said that.
I would have. I'd have had that kid from
Rasheed Bailey.
Yeah, Rasheed Bailey. At least he's got some upside. This guy's just done.
It's time to revamp the receiving core.
All right, well, guys, thanks for joining us. Comment below with the worst player on this 2015 team.
Chip Chatter coming Wednesday.
There's no wrong answer for worst player, so feel free to comment away. And Chip Chatter on Thursday.
Well, Wednesday will be question submitting, and Thursday.
Get them in by 5 p.m. You know the drill. We'll see you guys next time.